Welcome back to Hytale. I've tidied up the base a little bit more, mostly just moved around the crafting stations. I made a farmer's workbench where it seems we can get seeds of things and make various farming related stuff. I guess this is how they provide crafting materials or building materials. And I learned that the golem respawns just right here while I'm working. But good news is it does not have much health. It must have been resetting its health and healing while I had been trying to shoot it last time. So it's not actually that much of a problem. And if anything, I get to farm it. I've also crafted myself a copper pickaxe and copper axe. So the plan for this episode is going to be farming. Nope, not farming. Mining. Gathering more resources. And kind of just seeing what the underground of the world is like. For all I know, there's crazy dungeons down here. And yep, it could be anything. I did learn that there is fall damage. So that is something. But I want to cut down a few more trees to get more sap. And then we can make torches. I've just noticed that there isn't saplings. So I don't know how or if trees can be replanted. That will be something to stay aware of. No, but that seems like a young tree. So I don't know if there's some kind of procedural tree generation. Something just made a scary noise. Okay, well, I'll figure out what that is later. Oh, there's a rat. We will need hides for higher tier equipment. Can I just... yeah. Just have to have a few blocks. But this is a very interesting implication with world generation. That things will naturally grow and change over time. Minecraft trees just grow and stay, but this is much more dynamic. Okay, that is another 120 torches, and that should suit our needs. And we can make more arrows as we get the stones for them. The ambiance changes quite a bit. My goals for this mining expedition are to get a fair amount of copper. I think we'll need, I'm estimating 10 or 15 for each different workbench to upgrade it to the next tier. And then of course we'll need a bit for the copper equipment we want. This game is very atmospheric. So I don't quite understand what the atmosphere they're going for is. I have no idea how deep these caves go. You know, it's not like Minecraft where everyone knows that there's a bedrock. And sea levels at, what, 62, 63? And you just make a staircase, then you get iron, and eventually find diamonds. Well, I'm sure that the better stuff is in the bottom. I kind of want to see if the caves will lead me there. Okay. So the ground has changed texture. We're now at basalt. Another objective is to get a bunch of mining building materials. I said I wasn't a builder, but I might as well meet the game on its own terms. They've clearly put a fair amount of effort into planning the crafting system and thought into giving people lots of materials to build with. Caves seem pretty empty. Other than the occasional rat. not seeing many enemies. Yeah. Not expecting to get blown up by a creeper or something. Okay, 42 copper. I've been thinking of getting 100, but it seems like my copper pickaxe is going to give out. So we may just get this last little bit and then return up. I had been hoping for some kind of coal or something to stop burning my wood in the furnace for. Yes, we may want to come back to this once we have more armor and self-lit area seems like it might be some kind of dungeon. Where are those? Okay, just ambiance particles. Right, I can mantle and all. Suppose I just missed them. Okay, 60 copper will do. I hope I have enough wood to cook all of it. Alright, so I've processed all of the materials we brought back from the cave. Had to use all of the wood to smelt the iron and copper, even with most of the charcoal that it gave in return. The light hide is able to be processed into light leather at a tanning bench, tanning rack. So now we can get iron tools. I'm going to start with a pickaxe. I think I'd like a sword, but I'd also rather not be constantly replacing the pickaxe every time we go down. Let's see. I made an armor workbench. Made a full set of armor, or copper armor. It's relatively cheap. The iron stuff all requires light leather and linen scraps, so it is out of range for now. We don't really have a good way of getting light hide other than wandering around and killing rats. The copper gear seems to give us additional health and damage resistances. I'm a little worried that it only has 80 durability. I think that will get chipped away at as we fight rats and stuff, but we will see. Okay, yeah, I might want to burn the sticks next time. So that's kind of that. We'll go back into the mine, continue fighting rats and see what was on that next level. Okay. Yeah, and when you get the armor, you do not heal. It does not come with health, so yeah. Okay, see you in a moment. Alright, I'm back in the cave, realizing that I do not have the ability to craft arrows just from my inventory. So, we only have 28. That is life. Interesting volcanic cobble. Okay, yeah, good thing we got a stronger pickaxe. This volcanic cobble is taking a lot longer to mine. And it looks like there's some enemies. Yeah, that looks like enemies. Okay, I'm getting destroyed. I know I didn't go into that with a strategy, but goodness. Okay, maybe 3v1 is not my strong suit. I want to figure out where that flying skull went to, so it doesn't surprise me. Okay, well. Goodness, I'm just wasting arrows. Yeah. Kind of weird to go from no enemies to like 4. I think the skull went into the floor. Either way, it seems like that's not an immediate problem. Magma Rhino Toad. Okay. That's about what I expected. Okay, yeah, that is, that hurts. Okay, so this gives health regen 1, and that gives health regen 2. So it seems like the time doesn't restart or anything. Okay, maybe the armor's like per body part, but it doesn't seem to have lost much. lot of copper here. Okay. I did figure out that there is fall damage, so that is pretty good. Didn't even get a good measure of how many blocks it was, but I think it's like 5. It's not a lot of damage, but I think one of the toads is fighting something else. That's interesting, but I have no idea how to make use of it. Ore is getting stuck in walls and such is a little annoying. Interesting that we're getting linen scraps from dead creatures. Oh, dead toads. Interesting that they can defend as well. I don't know if it does them any good. Okay, Essence of Fire. And it looks like I can only keep that rechargeability as long as I am continually using the weapon. Which seems okay. I think I'm much more likely to continuously use the bow 4 or 5 times than a sword. Get, what, 7 or 8 strikes on it. I have no idea if this guy's even hostile. Anyways. Something called a mage is shooting at me. Something called a mage is killing me. Let's get a little bit of space from that. Regenerate a little bit of health. essence of fire is interesting. Seems like the game has a lot of elemental like crafting bits going on. And we found life in like shadow, whatever it's called earlier. The copper ore definitely seems to be a lot more dense down here. Which I suppose is nice. The trip wasn't too long, and it is a riskier area. I would have just hoped for a bit more iron. Okay. It does seem like, for almost all of the enemies, the general strategy is just to run up and hit them a bunch, and learn how often I have to use my shield. I'm not interested in figuring out how much damage the lava does, but I'm sure we will figure out eventually. Hmm. Okay. I don't know what else I'm supposed to be doing or looking for here. Plenty of copper, and that's good. There's some iron, that's necessary. But other than fighting through some extra mobs, don't really know if that's a ton of progression. I'm interested in that emerald chunk, because I think I get those from killing that golem that was guarding the portal. guy seems like he's not going to be able to hit me. I'm very surprised that the AI is, that way. Oh. I guess I can appreciate it. Caves just seem to level out at around lava level. Interested in going down here, but naturally there are two frogs. And that's one way to get down there. Woo! Okay. Hello, Golem. Come out of the portal, please. Okay, so it seems like I dropped a portion of my items. My armor took durability. And I am sad. I don't know. Like, that seems fine to me. I want to make a chest really quick, but it takes like 10 wood to do that, and I don't feel like going up and then down and then up again. Let's store some of the possibly more valuable items. Can we make more arrows? Okay. Quick try to make more arrows. And then we go for it. Okay, here I was. And the enemies are now gone. Cool. See, all you have to do to kill a few enemies is just die. Where's my stuff? Okay, so there's some kind of don't get close to lava at all. Yeah, I think that stick is going to live down there. And we will continue like that never happened. I suppose as long as you're relatively fast and you don't care that much about repairing your armor or equipment, dying is not that bad because it means you can drop off some of your item. Okay. I still have regeneration. Make this area a little bit safer to go through. I don't know, I'm not really planning to come back this way necessarily, but it is the way of humans to make things safer for our next passage, in general. Okay. I had seen something interesting. Was it this way? Nope. One of these ways. I'll just have to check them all. Ah, yes, it was that thing. So, no idea if it is reasonable for me to attack this thing or not. But I have a bow, I have a sword, and it is there. A fire steel golem. Oh, I watched the dev development, dev blog of how they designed this guy. Okay, yep. Seems to be a usual strategy of just smack the guy a bunch. Essence of fire. Cool. I keep walking into those because I can never decide if they do or do not hurt me. It's like they hurt me a small portion of the time. Okay, let's continue back where those frogs killed me. And continue going slightly further down. I've at a minimum gotten much more confident about jumping. I don't know if I've gotten much better at doing it. I don't think this is really going down as much as I thought it did. And I'm not enthusiastic about walking so close to the lava. Okay, I'm going to backtrack. Go back to where I was climbing previously. Making hasty maneuvers and nearly getting myself killed. Don't think I want to tussle with two of those things at once. But they are the way forward. Or that one's just going to walk through the lava. I guess the creature blocking does theoretically reduce my stamina. It's just that the fights aren't tough enough for me to care about my stamina. Okay, more linen scraps. Yep, okay. I'll admit to being a little uncertain of where I am supposed to go from here. Okay, just seems to be lava everywhere. I think this is a good place for me to take a break then. Um, if there's only going to be a bunch of lava and kind of these same enemies down here, I will take a hint and wander around the surface some more. We can go look at other biomes and see if there are above ground dungeons. I mean, the game referred to something like dragons, so I imagine those would be above ground. I'll see you all next time.